Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call halal YAHAWAH Ba'ashim YAHAWASHI Ba'ashim Rachaha Kodash. That belongs to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well. And Shalom to the hopeful elect. YAHAWAH Ba'ashim YAHAWASHI Barakatham. It's the brother Kazar from the Medval 12 West Coast, coming back at it again with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be going into, what happened about 100 years ago, which is what is known as Black Wall Street, or the Tulsa, Oklahoma race massacre. Where Esau, what he did was he basically, burned down and bombed a city, a prosperous town that the so-called Negroes had built up for themselves. And let's just go into the article, to get further what's it called, further info on this. You know what I'm saying? Which is not like nothing new. Brother's been bringing this out, for the longest. All right, as an example of why we can't, make it here in this society, as an example of why this place is not our rest, because this is the land of our captivity, and we are ruled over by our enemies. All right, so let's go into the article, and it reads: a century ago this week, the wealthiest U.S. black community was burned to the ground. All right. At the turn of the 20th century, the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, became one of the first communities in the country thriving with black entrepreneurial businesses. All right, and just on a side note, for those of you that are new to this Israelite thing, if this your first video you came across of it, ain't no such thing as black people, man. All right, it's different shades of brown depending on your melanin. All right, but the whole black and white and brown is just a covering cast that this devil, the so-called white man, has put on on the whole world to keep us from coming back to who we are. All right, because he knows that when we come back to who we are, his kingdom goes down, and not just his kingdom, but the other, how do I put it to you, the other nations as well. All right, because the so-called blacks, Latinos, the Native Americans, all right, we all make up the 12 tribes of the children of Israel, and you're gonna have the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, but so don't be going by that, by that byword that this devil puts on you. All right, so let's just continue reading. Just a quick little side note. All right, on that, but let's continue reading the article, and it reads: the prosperous town, founded by many descendants of slaves, earned a reputation as the Black Wall Street of America, and became a harbor for African Americans in a highly segregated city under Jim Crow laws. All right, so Jake was thriving. Okay, they were doing their thing, and guess what? That's not unlike our people. All right, because if you look at our forefathers, they were men of prosperity. All right, they were men of substance. All right, and YAHAWASHI was dealing with them. All right, now our people, we as Israelites, our forefather being Israel, but his original name being Jacob. All right, it is in our nature, to prosper and grow and make enterprises, man. All right, it's in our nature to do that. You know what I'm saying? You look at our forefathers; they did that. When Jacob, he had he went to work for I forgot his name. You know what I'm saying? But he came back to his land, with all them all the sheep, like Abraham, for example, when he went down to see Joseph, they came, they had substance, man. All right, and those were our forefathers. All right, Isaac too, men of substance. Okay, and it reads: on May 31st in 1921. A white mob turned Greenwood upside down in one of the worst racial massacres in U.S. history. In the matter of hours, 35 square blocks of the vibrant black community were turned into smoldering ashes. Countless black people were killed. Estimates range from 55 to more than 300, and 1,000 homes and businesses were looted and set on fire. Which look, man. We're talking about 35 square blocks. All right, 35 square blocks. You see how, you see all this debris here. You know what I'm saying? You see the aftermath of what had happened. Let me see if I can get off. There we go. All right. They really downplaying the numbers here, man. All right, and that's what this devil does, because he's trying to wipe away his iniquities, man. All right, because at the end of the day, in the days that we're in right now, with all the angels patrolling the earth and everything happening, and this truth being revealed, all right, this devil knows that he has a tab to pay. Okay, so of course he's going to downplay the numbers. It says countless black people were killed. Estimates range from 55 to more than 300. All right. And 1,000 homes and businesses were looted and set on fire. All right. So you telling me in 35 square blocks, only from 55 to 300 so-called black people were killed, man? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense. All right. And it reads, in 1,000 homes and businesses were looted and set on fire, because this devil is a fucking thief, man. All right, this devil's the fucking thief, man. And he has that envy and that perpetual hatred for us, man. He got that spirit of Cain. When Abel was, the Lord was blessing Abel, Cain, what spirit was on him? He had that covetous, jealous spirit, man. And that spirit translated onto Esau, because he is the reincarnation of Cain. All right, that spirit translated onto Esau. All right, and he's in the same spirit, man. All right, with that perpetual hatred. All right, straight player hater, man. So let's continue reading. Yet for the longest time, the massacre received scant mentions in newspapers. All right, textbooks and civil and governmental conversations, because these are things that they hide from us, man. All right, they bring out the slavery of the so-called black people here in America. All right, but they don't bring out the captivity, the slavery, and the genocide. They don't be bringing it out too much, dealing with the northern tribes. The northern tribes, so-called Latinos and Native Americans, hey, y'all were serving in slavery too, man. Y'all were picking tobacco for these devils in Latin America, man. Whatever crops that grew in Latin America, these devils weren't picking up them crops by themselves. They had you picking that shit up, man. They had you working the land. You really think, with all the villas and all the acres of land that these devils done robbed from you, they think that they're going to work their own lands? No, they had you working those lands. All right, you proud ass so-called Latinos, you want to look down on our brothers, the so-called black people, just because your skin is a few shades lighter, But let's just continue on reading. It wasn't until 2000 that the slaughter was included in Oklahoma public school curriculums, and it did not enter American history textbooks against recent years. And you know why that is? Because brothers have been pushing it out, man. Brothers have been bringing it out. What happened in Black Wall Street. They've been bringing it out, all right, in this truth. And the world knows now. You can't cover this thing up, man. All right, you can't cover this thing up. To cover this up would be to add salt on the wound, and there's already enough salt in the wound, on the wounds of our people, man. So verse Salakia. So continuing on reading, the 1921 Tulsa race riot, which that's not a race riot, man. That's a massacre. All right, see, that's the thing. Esau can't keep his story straight. But reading into this stuff, it really vexes me, man. And then at the same time, in the same token, you got our people that, want that want to make this place their end all be all, because they don't know nothing else, and ultimately they come against the prophets, man, because they don't want to get out their state of comfort and subtlety, man. Their state of not subtlety, but their state of comfort and low level prosperity, man. Because this ain't working your ass off, you getting yourself a business or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To get your FRNs, man. That's not the end all be all, man. All right. You may have brothers that have businesses, such as myself, but guess what? All right. Guess what? This ain't our end all be all, man. We look to get delivered out of this place. All right. So I'm still with the verses, man. Salakia. So continuing on reading, the 1921 Tulsa race riot commission was formed to investigate in 1997 and officially released the report in 2001. So you telling me after all these years, all right, they barely wanted to come in on this, man? They barely wanted to touch on the topic. Esau's the devil, man. All right. The massacre was actively covered up in the white community in Tulsa for nearly half a century, said Scott Ellsworth, a professor of Afro-American and African Studies at the University of Michigan and author of the groundbreaking about the Tulsa massacre. All right. When I started my research in the 1970s, I discovered that the official National Guard reports and other documents were all missing. Ellsworth said Tulsa's two daily white newspaper, they went out of their way for decades not to mention the massacre. Researchers would try to do work on this as late as early 1970s as their lives threatened and had their careers threatened. Okay, so this devil was going through, great, he was going through lengths, through lengths to cover this thing up. All right, through great lengths. In the week following the massacre, Tulsa chief of police ordered his officers to go to all the photography studios in Tulsa and confiscate all the pictures taken of the carnage. Now, you best believe there was carnage, man. Now, we talking about bombs being dropped. We talking about the National Guard coming in and burning down the city, man. All right, these photos, which were later discovered and became the materials of Oklahoma commission used to study the massacre, eventually landed in the lap of Michelle, a place at the Tulsa Historical Society and Museum. All right. It took me 4 days to get through the box because the photographs were so horrific. I had never seen those kinds of pictures before because these devils, they did a number on you tribes, man. All right, and you tribes out there going around, you so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, all right, going around like prancing around like shit is sweet. This devil's about to tap into the same spirit, man. All right, this devil's about to tap into the same spirit on you, man. All right, that Revelations 12:12 spirit, man. Coming down with great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. And Tulsa, Oklahoma only proves that this devil will break his own covenants, break his own laws to destroy you, man. Because what they did was unconstitutional. What they did was illegal. They basically activated the National Guard on U.S. soil, man. To take you tribes down because they don't want to see you getting over them, man. They don't want to see you, what's it called, prospering and basically rising above them. All right, but at the end of the day, it's only YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI because this is the land of our captivity, not the land of our rest, not the land of our prosperity. All right, and that's what Jake in this society keeps on getting fucked up, man. I'm part of my French, but that's what Jake in this society keeps on getting it twisted, man. That this is the land of their rest, the land of their captivity. They're gonna work their career, they're gonna save up so much money and become entrepreneurs, CEO type stuff, or athletes, celebrities, whatever they want to, whatever they dream to become, whatever they aspire to become. And then they're just gonna grow up and live where they're gonna live, die of old age, have a wife, a whole bunch of kids. They think this land is the end all be all, man. All right, so Reese, I didn't know anything about the rap before I came to work here. I never heard of it since I've been here. I've been at my desk to guard them to the very best of my ability. You see, so again, Esau going through great lengths to hide, certain atrocities that he has done against our people, and it only goes to show you, man, this is one thing that got out. This is an event that got out, and Jake came to find out about. You could only imagine. All right, the other horrific things that this devil did to our people that he's going through, great lengths to keep us from finding out, man. Because this all goes hand in hand with our nationality. How Esau goes to great lengths, hiring all these agents and all these, just all the basically agents, to come and try to infiltrate the truth, try to downplay and try to disprove the truth, try to sift us out of this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, that one demon vocab Malone. Or should I say vocab riser, because he ain't no Malone, man. He ain't no Italian, but let's just keep on reading. All right, the Tulsa Museum was founded in the late 1990s, but visitors couldn't find a trace of the race massacre until 2012, when Place became executive director, determined to tell all of Tulsa's stories. A digital collection of the photographs was eventually made available for viewing online. Okay, so, hey, the world knows now. All right, and that's this devil being made bare. Okay, that's this devil being made bare. But this basically, you know what I'm saying? Let me see, skim through, because this is like, in a sense, how do I put it to you? this is in a sense, miscellaneous, man. We already covered the fact that they how do I put it to you? That they, try to hide this thing, but it's not even about them just trying to hide it. It's the fact that it took place, man. And things like this have been taking place, man. All right, this devil's just been hiding it. All right, you had like Tulsa, Oklahoma, they've been hiding it. What other things have happened to our people that this devil was going through great lengths to hide, man? All right, it was only because the Lord put the spirit on somebody that it happened, that it got out to the surface, man. And so-called black people knew about this, man. But hey, nobody wants to take the poor man's, the poor and needy's word, as nobody wants to listen to us, man. So let me see. Let me see if I can find another. Let me see more info on this as well. Because if not, I'm just going to. Let me see. Yeah, we're just going to hit the scriptures. All right, so let's hit the scriptures. We're gonna close out. I'm also gonna do another lesson regarding this topic, but regarding the spirit that certain Israelites are in, certain Negroes are in, so-called Negroes are in, because they take these things and they're going about it the wrong way. All right, but let's just go. The book of Micah, chapter. Let me see. Salakia. The book of Micah, chapter 2 and 10. And it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." All right, so this place is not our rest, man. And what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma is an example of this scripture. They got destroyed with the sword destruction, but this is ultimately talking about, the ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, you wanna rest here, you wanna bow down to the beast and be in obeisance and worship the image, which is basically be in obeisance of this devil, and ultimately all that's what that's gonna do is that's gonna cause you to take the chip, which is the mark of the beast, and that's gonna and then that's gonna happen to where the Lord delivers you to the second death, man. That's ultimately what's gonna happen if you consider this place your rest, man. All right, this place is not our rest. This is the land of our captivity, and we're looking forward to getting delivered out of here and put back in our own land. All right, so it reads, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." All right, so that prosperity spirit, that what's it called? I'm a get a family here, and I'm a breed. I'm gonna have that white picket fence, and I'm gonna grow old and die spirit, and die here spirit, man. That's the wrong spirit to be in, man. All right, so let's go to the next precept. Since Esau was covering this up, it only makes sense I bring this scripture up. Esau made bare. All right, then we're gonna segue to his judgment. All right, so the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. "But I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." Okay, and this devil's and that's what's happening with this devil, man. He's being revealed as the wicked. Okay, he's being revealed as the wicked that he is, man. All right, and our people are being revealed as the true Hebrew Israelites. That's why he's losing his mind right now. All right, that's why he's losing his mind. And guess what? All right, all this has a recompense, man. Okay, all this has a recompense, and the reason why, you know what I'm saying, and that's the reason why, Salaki, that's the reason why, this devil's going through great lengths to hide, such events, man. All right, what other events like this have happened in the past that this devil is covering up, and he's keeping his seal covered up, man. You could only imagine what other events are this, because we just read in the article, man. Like, look, they went through great lengths. They don't have people threatened and people, yeah, basically people threatened, so they don't reveal this information, man. So you could only imagine, how many other events like this took place in the past, and it's not just towards the so-called Negro, it's like towards the so-called Negroes here in Babylon. is also towards the so-called Latinos and the so-called Native Americans, man, because they best believe, you best believe they got a media blockage on y'all, man. All right, growing up in high school, you don't really know about how Esau took down the Latin Americans like that. They don't teach about the slavery that happened in this land. I had to go back home. My father told me about how them Spaniards did the so-called Incas, the indigenous people in South America. All right, they were the Incan Empire. That's and biblically speaking, that's their true biblical nationality is the Hebrew Israelites of the tribe of Asher. All right, my dad told me that them Spaniards had, our people had them picking crops all day, and they wouldn't feed them no food, man. All right, all they would feed them is the coca leaf plant, which is what they make the cocaine out of. All right, they get it out of a leaf, and basically what happens is it's a natural, a natural stimulant, a natural energy, because YAHAWASHI set up the plants to be for our use and for our purpose, man. But them Spaniards on the left hand side, in their wickedness, them Edomites, they had our people, chew on that leaf all day long so they don't get tired. Here it is, they weren't being fed, they were being fed very, very little, and they just gave them leaves, and that's all they had, all they had to work with, man. That's why when you look at the so-called South Americans and certain Latinos, that have them indigenous features, they'll be very, very short. Why? Because of generations of malnutrition while they were serving while they were serving bondage to this devil, man. And all this, all right, all this, you know what I'm saying? Esau has a tab to pay, man. All right, and all this devil has earned himself a tab to pay. Okay, so I'm going to read this again. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. All right, so he's going to be spoiled, man. This devil is basically through, man. All right, his secret places, all that, all those wicked occultic rituals that the upper echelons of these devils do, all that's been exposed, man. All right, all that's been exposed. All the child sacrifice, the child sex trafficking, all that has been exposed, man. And the whole world knows about it. All the Satanism, the whole world knows about it. All right, so this devil has amassed himself a big tab to pay. Okay, and they're going to pay it. All right, they are going to pay it. Let's bring it out in the book of Zechariah, chapter 2, verse 8. All right, and it reads, "For thus saith the YAHAWASHI of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you touches the apple of his eye." You see? He that touches you touches the apple of his eye. All right, so basically meaning, since these devil touches, guess what? They touch the apple of the eyes of YAHAWASHI, because we are the top nation. All right, pursuing the Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6, the Lord set us up and chose us to be a separate people unto himself, a chosen people above all the nations that are upon the earth, man. So with the Lord, we're the favorite we're the favorite branch, so to speak. Okay, we're the favorite we're his favorite tree, so to speak. As it says, the apple of his eye. All right, and for all this, you know what I'm saying, for all this destruction, all right, that these devils have put upon us, guess what? They're gonna pay for it. All right, they are going to pay for it. All this comes with a recompense, man. All right, and let's bring out a precept too, dealing with this devil's hatred towards us, man. Because hey, you tribes, man, you have to really, really learn, man. All right, you really gotta understand, and that this devil hates you, man. Okay, and it's not until you understand that, which you're gonna have those of them that are gonna coon out to the end. All right, and be hand joined in hand with the devil to the end. All right, but this ultimately goes out to the elect, man. All right, once you understand who the enemy is, you'll be better off. Trust me, you'll be in much better predicaments, because when you deal with your enemy, all right, hey, but guess what, man? You could end up in terrible predicaments, man. Putting your trust in your enemies, man. All right, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 3, "And say unto it, thus said the YAHAWASHI, our power, behold, O Mount Seir, I'm against thee. Okay, so Mount Seir is talking about, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, the devil that the Bible speaks of. And it reads, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. All right, so that's ultimately the tab that's gonna happen. That's like that's ultimately the reward of these devils, man. All right, they're gonna be made most desolate. All right, they're gonna be cast down into the pits, man. They're gonna be serving hardcore slavery under all the heathens as well. And these heathens are gonna go into slavery too, but these devils are gonna be in the lowest position, man. They're gonna be in the lowest of the lowest position, and these heathens will never really look down upon them. All right. So it reads, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am YAHAWASHI. So this devil, after this kingdom, man, there ain't no rising back up as a phoenix, man. All right, once this place gets destroyed, it's gonna be Malachi 1 and 4, where these devils gonna try to build and try to come back into power, and you might have that happen in the kingdom, man. You might have them try to revolt and rebel, but guess what? They're gonna be cast down and put back in their place speedily, man, speedily and effectively. All right, so verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am YAHAWASHI. Because these devils is leading they're leading basically a tumult, a revolution. I wouldn't say a revolution, Salakia, a rebellion against YAHAWASHI. All right, that's why the whole world is the way that it is right now. Man, what the hell is that? It's like these objects in the sky. Could be birds though. I kind of see wings flapping, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's why the world is in the predicament that it is. All right, that's why it's nothing but wickedness in the world. YAHAWASHI is not being proclaimed in the world. Is basically so like the YAHAWASHI is not being proclaimed in the world. All right, they're not reverencing and they're not fearing YAHAWASHI. The only ones doing that is us in this knowledge. All right, but it's all good. The world will know, and the world will be slapped back into remembrance. Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity, had an end. Okay, so that perpetual hatred that this devil feel, that perpetual hatred, all right, is what this devil has for us, man. And that's what he feels towards us. That's why you have events such as Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right, you have events that where our people's being shot down in the streets, our people's being discriminated against for literally no reason. Jacob would just be walking down the street minding his own business, and this devil's out here harassing him, man. I done seen many videos like that. And you so-called Latinos and Native Americans, you go through it too, man. You just want to act like it don't happen, but you best believe it does happen, man. All right, and the reason that shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right, so that's an example of that, of these devils, shedding our blood, man. All right, verse 6, therefore as I live, said the YAHAWASHI, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Okay, that's the tab that's coming to you, devils, man. All right, that's the big payback. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, so let me just turn this off. Have to lower the windows down. All right, verse 7. Thus I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains and with his slain men, and thy hills and thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain by the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy cities shall not return. You see? So ain't no America coming back. Ain't no America 2.0, man. Ain't no United States 2.0, ain't no France 2.0, ain't no Rome 2.0. All right, all your cities will not return, man. It's gonna be desolate. All right, and the pits, in the pits is where you're going to live for them 1,000 years until your time is up, and then you just be burnt up as a nation, man. All right, you see, these other nations, they're gonna get locked up in a sense. All right, you want to get metaphorical with it. All right, they're gonna get locked up. They're gonna be put in slavery, captivity. That's gonna and they're gonna do it for 1,000 years until their sentence is up, and then they're gonna be allowed to go back to their lands. But you so-called white people, you Edomites, All right, guess what? The Lord gonna put you on death row, man. All right, the Lord got you on death row. Okay, here it is. We're required to remember, the atrocities that happened to these devils. Dealing with the hollow hoax, and also the whole 9/11 thing. You know what I'm saying? Which all that is fabricated by the elites, anyways. But we're required to remember that. But this devil's trying his hardest to when it comes to our stuff. He wants to sweep it under the rug, man. All right, because he's trying to escape his judgment. But guess what? He's not going to escape his judgment. All right, he's going to get his judgment. He's going to serve it, man. All right. All right, so let's go out to the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. I don't want to make this lesson too long. Let me see real quick. And I believe it was, yeah, there we go. All right, so the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. And it reads, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right, because the reason why I'm bringing this out is because the same way these devils try to sweep this under the rug. All right, when we talk about the things and their evil deeds that they have done to our people, all right, all those atrocities that they have done to our people, they want to tell us to get over it, man. Ain't no getting over genocide, man. Ain't no getting over no slavery. All right, the rape, the robbery, the brutalities and the torture that they did to our people. There's no getting over that, man. You have a tab to pay. All right, and that's why, as the scripture says, Isaiah 14 and 21, it reads, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, said YAHAWASHI, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said YAHAWASHI. You see? That's ultimately what's going to happen to you tribes, man. And that's why this land is going to be destroyed, because it is polluted. All right, that's why this land is not our rest, man. All right, you don't have things like Tulsa, Oklahoma happen, man. And before that, the genocide and the slaughter of the so-called Native Americans. And this the land you wanna live in? This land is polluted, man. It's polluted with the blood of our ancestors. You shouldn't feel right in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't feel right and comfortable even living here, man. All right, it's like living in a house where your grandparents got brutally murdered. Like your great grandparents, and other relatives of that time period. They got this house, and then some lunatic came in there and killed them all with an axe. Set some on fire type shit, man. Some brutal shit. And then you go and buy the house and sleep in the bedroom and sup there, man. That don't make no sense, man. You wouldn't feel right doing that. All right, that's why you can't be in that spirit of trying to make this place your rest, man. You can't be in that spirit, man. And guess what? 2/3 could be in that spirit, but we won't, man. All right, Lord willing, we're up that number. All right, and we endure to the end. So with that, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the Akim. All right, just covering on what happened, 100 years ago today, with Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's going to be part of the, that's going to be part of the tab that this devil has to pay for us, man. All right, that this devil has to pay, for what he did to us. And guess what? It's gonna America, YAHAWASHI is gonna turn Babylon into Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. All right, YAHAWASHI is gonna turn Babylon into Tulsa, Oklahoma, man. All right, and that's gonna be the title for the lesson. So with that, I'm gonna say, call halal Yahawah ba'ashmi hawashai ba'asimracha akwadash for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. All right, on to the next. Shalom.